Are you thinking about moving to the Seminole Heights area, that part of Tampa that's really kind of cool and eclectic that everybody talks about? Well, today in this video, I'm going to discuss with you the pros and cons of moving to Seminole Heights. So let's get after it right now. Hey, future Floridians. I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida, and I live in the Tampa St. Pete area. And this channel is dedicated to all things living, working, playing, sleeping, eating, and especially this wacky real estate market we are all in. So if that resonates with you, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That really helps me out a lot. And don't forget, if you like this content, that thumbs up helps me as well. So go ahead and click that now. And as always, if you have any comments, I appreciate them. So go ahead and chat me up in the comments below, ask me a question. And if you've been to Seminole Heights, tell me something that you like about Seminole Heights. And as always, if you're looking to relocate to the Tampa area, Tampa St. Pete area for that matter, I'm your girl, but I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. All of my links are below. You can text me, you can call me, email me, but most importantly, you can jump on my calendar for a 30-minute consultation and we can speak more specifically to your needs. So today I kind of wanted to go over an area I haven't talked about yet, which is another cool area that a lot of people are discussing because it's centrally located. It's Seminole Heights. Seminole Heights sits in the middle of Tampa proper, and it has been around since 1910 with all of its craftsman style bungalow type homes, and it's rich in history. And a lot of people that are native to Florida, and native to Tampa in particular, I should say, have a lot of memories of North Florida Avenue and going to school in that area and walking around and really watching that area grow. So I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the pros and cons that I think you need to think about when relocating to Seminole Heights. We're going to talk a little bit about home prices. We're going to talk about styles. We're going to talk about size. We're going to also discuss some of the fun things you can do in that area and why it's so popular. So as you can see on our map here, Seminole Heights, right smack dab in the middle, a little north of downtown Tampa, and it's definitely centrally located. If you're thinking about moving to the Tampa area and you're also wondering where could I live that's most centrally located to everything in Tampa, it's going to be Seminole Heights. Because you can see here, you're about a 10-minute drive to downtown Tampa, where all of the hubbub is. You're very close to Camelside. You're also close to Davis Island and Harbor Island. And more importantly, you're really a hop, skip, and a jump to the airport. So if you're a commuter, that's really important and something you need to consider. Not to mention, if you want to be in South Tampa, where there's a lot of fun things to do, and to kind of walk along the water, you've got options there. You're close to all the bridges. That's always good. And you are also just about 30 minutes, 40 minutes at the most with traffic to the beaches. So it is a really great area if you're thinking of, well, I don't really know where I want to land in Tampa. I don't know if I want to be in the suburbs. I don't know if I want to be near the beach, but I really want to be where all of the action is. And I can't afford downtown prices. Seminole Heights is a really good option, I think. And so when we think about Seminole Heights, there are some borders. I really take a look at Seminole Heights from this perspective. This is Hillsborough Avenue, which is 92. And then you've got 275 running up and down, right? So from either side, you've got different parts of Seminole Heights. But really, the main part of Seminole Heights is going to be right in this area. And the border, this is Hillsborough River. That's also one of the borders. There's a couple of neighborhoods that sit up against Seminole Heights that are also great to consider. One is Wellswood, and another neighborhood that's just south of Seminole Heights is Tampa Heights. So Tampa Heights really got going around 1880. And it was a major thoroughfare for most people that were traveling into downtown Tampa. There was a lot of streetcars going on at that time, lots of public transportation. And it was a central place for everybody to kind of live and work closely to downtown. Seminole Heights then kind of got going around 1910, around that area. It started to be developed in that time span. And then everything kind of developed outside of that. What you're going to find in Seminole Heights, again, is those craftsman style homes, craftsman bungalow style homes. They're going to be smaller homes, and a lot of them don't have garages and square footage. So if you're looking for that kind of big house at 3-2 with a big lawn and 3-car garage, Seminole Heights isn't for you. That's not going to happen unless you find a home that has been regentrified, in that area. A lot of people started to come around and level the old bungalow homes and build up new homes. And do we like that? It happens. I mean, a lot of people are really trying to keep the history alive in this area. But it's something to think about when you're looking at the types of homes that you like. A lot of people like that historical feel, and you're definitely going to get that in Seminole Heights, especially if you don't want to go to the St. Pete side, where you also have that craftsman bungalow style home. So some of the pros that I think you need to think about when moving to the Seminole Heights area is it's a lot of walkability, a lot of biking, a lot of you could walk your dog down the street, but you can also take your dog to the bar if you'd like. There's a ton of amazing restaurants. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to tell you some of my favorites. But also, you're not far from the Hillsborough River, where a bunch of parks kind of sit up against that, so you can walk your dog or your kids near the water. And by the way, you will probably see alligators in the Hillsborough River. Just a little fun fact there. I have definitely kayaked down the Hillsborough River and saw my share of alligators, enough for a lifetime. They were little, though, to be honest. They're just kind of floating along, and if you don't bother them, they don't bother you. So don't forget that. Also, another great thing about Seminole Heights is they've got these cute little shops, these little mom and pop shops, very eclectic. They've got also wonderful little ice cream stores that have really interesting flavors, like the lavender and basil and that sort of thing. And that's Revolution Ice Cream. And that's one of my favorite places to go to. They've got CDB infused ice cream. And there's a couple of restaurants that I really love. And as you can see on the map here, I'm on North Florida Boulevard right here. Look at all of those little red circles. Those are restaurants. There's some great ones. I've been to Rooster and the Till. Amazing food. If you want a really good date night and you want to kind of take it up a notch, Rooster and the Till's amazing. Social House is great. There's also the Sea House. I don't know if it's popping up here, but also the front porch is awesome. It's a converted old house. You can bring your dog. They bring water bowls. There's always live music. There's a lot of live music happening up and down North Florida Avenue. So when it comes to walking around and finding those microbreweries or distilleries or really cool eclectic food, that's going to happen up and down North Florida Avenue. And it's basically your neighborhood restaurants right here. Everything is walkable. These neighborhoods over in this area are literally blocks from North Florida Avenue. So it makes it really accessible to having a bit of more of a social life. So if you're someone that really is a foodie, you're interested in microbreweries and different eclectic styles of beers and ciders, Florida Avenue Brewery is one of my favorites. And you walk around a lot, or you bike, or you have a dog, and you really want to have that outdoor life. A lot of people that have been moving from New York and been indoors a lot, especially during the pandemic, Seminole Heights is like an oasis for them, because you can feel like you're living in a little borough, but you're close to everything. And if you're also a young family, again, that walking around with the dog, stroller activity is really popular in that area. But you're also just like a couple of miles from Lowry Park Zoo, which is one of our oldest, well, it's our only zoo, but it's been around since 1925. And so it's a really great place that, there's a couple of shows on, I think it's a History Channel, where they kind of go behind the scenes of the animal veterinarian area of Lowry Park Zoo, where you get to kind of get more in depth to how they care for the animals and rescue the animals. It's really cool. But Lowry Park is on the map as one of the best zoos in America, I think. And another pro is that the home prices are going to be just a little bit more affordable in this area. Yes, you might get less of a home, but if you're in that $250,000, $350,000 range, you can find a home. You might have to put a little love into it. But if you're not necessarily somebody that needs a garage or this huge backyard, you really can find a really great home in this area. So let's take a look at some of the homes in that area, and I'm going to show you how wide a range the prices are right now in that area. So I just kind of wanted to go over a little bit of how the housing prices are kind of all over the map. And especially the closer you get to the Hillsborough River, those housing prices are going to go up. So right here, you're going to see a $1.5 million home. Well, that's again, 2717 square feet. It was a 2021 new build. So, and it's got all the latest and greatest with that backyard that butts up against the river. And I mean, it's just, look at that stunning view. Again, it's going to be worth that 1.5. But if you're not in the market for 1.5, let's see a little further away what your money can get you. Here's 465, and this is a 1727 square feet. That's not bad. And it's a 1947 home. So again, what I tell my clients is when we're looking at these historic homes, there's a couple of things we want to take a look at. And that's going to be the age of the roof, the electrical, the plumbing, the foundation. Are there any significant cracks? You know, an inspection report is going to show you the things that you cannot see, and that is very important in your buying process. Do not skip an inspection. But some of these older homes, you really, really want to pay attention to some of the things that may possibly be going wrong, because that can cost you a pretty penny down the road, especially if it's a foundation issue. Now this one says 1.2. I'm just curious what this looks like. So it's a 2022 build, and it looks like they really wanted to restore it to a somewhat on the exterior of that craftsman style bungalow, but yet it's 2-story and the inside is modern. So you're going to see that a lot in some of these homes that have been regentrified. So I mentioned you could get a home for 250 to 350, and I'm having a hard time finding that. So that means we're going to have to go a little outside, a little bit north in old Seminole Heights, or maybe a little south, or a little bit to the west. So if we're in that north part of 270, of old Seminole Heights, near 275, this is a home this is a 2007. So you can see that the regentrification has been happening, right? People are taking these old bungalows, knocking them down, and putting something else up. So this is 325. It's a 5-bedroom and 3 bath. Not bad. It's 2017, so it's still got a little bit of datedness to it. I'm making that word up, but it's got the square footage, so not bad. There's an area also to consider within this area that I like as well, and that would be Wellswood. Wellswood is on the other side, on the west side of the Hillsborough River. And you're going to notice the houses have a little bit more space, a little bit more lawn frontage, and probably big backyards. So this one is in the 415 range. It's a 1950s home. It's got 1707 square feet, and it's a 3-2. Not bad, right? And it looks like they've done some nice upgrades to it. So again, in that 4, let's see if we can, again, find you something in that 3. Just because I mentioned it, I gotta find it, right? And in this market, it's hard. But over here, this is a 229. So I've narrowed my search down for you, because if I say something, I want to be able to prove it. 250 to 350. So I did a search for 350 and under, and I just want to show you what parts of that area you can get something in that price range. Well, over here in Riverbend, I like Riverbend. This is 350, and it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1337 square feet. And again, you'll see there is no garage, so keep that in mind. A lot of the garages get converted to another bedroom. So if that's something that matters to you, keep that in mind. Also, let's take a look at this backyard. Let's see if I can get to the backyard. Pausing. And here's the backyard. Plenty of space if you wanted to put a shed, or you could even add, a detached garage. So there's lots of options when it comes to that. And again, this lot. So according to my map, I stand corrected. The 250 to 350 is going to be on the outskirts of Seminole Heights, Wellswood, and all that area. The east side of 275, you're going to find the homes are not as regentrified as on the more popular side of 275. So keep that in mind. And as the closer you get to Ybor, it's the same thing. So the east side of town just hasn't had that regentrification yet. But again, if you are interested in having more of that urban city feel, walkability, cool places to eat, Seminole Heights is it. And the only cons that I can really find at this point with Seminole Heights, because, I am a fan, so I'm a little biased, is some of the houses are too small, in my opinion, for the price per square foot. You got to keep that in mind. If that doesn't bother you and you feel like you found a great place and it's in your price range and you can see yourself building onto it, Seminole Heights, you're going to get your money's worth. So keep that in mind. If a garage is really important to you, you're not going to find that many unless they have been already renovated and they have a garage or they have a detached garage already created. Seminole Heights is very comparable, I would say, to St. Pete in the ages of the houses. Some of them are historic homes. Some of them need some love. Some have already been renovated. But again, most of them are not going to have the garages. They're not going to have that huge square footage that you might be needing. But there's room to grow. I sold a house to a couple, I think 2 years ago now, over on the river, and they're going up. And they have about 2,000 square feet. It's about an 80s home, I believe, but they've got this beautiful view of the water. They've got lots of landscape in the back. They're going to put a pool in and a deck, and then they're just going to go up from there. So, you have to get a little creative when you're in these historic parts of town where the homes aren't necessarily cookie cutter. If you want a cookie cutter home, Seminole Heights is not for you. If you want eclectic and cool with some history and know your neighbors and have that community feel, and maybe you don't want to live in St. Pete, I think Seminole Heights is a really great alternative. So let me know what your pros and cons you think are Seminole Heights. Have you been to Seminole Heights? Do you currently live in Seminole Heights? I love it because this is supposed to be full of pros and cons, and I didn't have that many cons, to be honest with you. So what is there to do in Seminole Heights besides everything on North Florida Avenue that I've talked about? You are so close to Armature Works, one of my favorite places. So if we go down here, you go down 275, and you basically can get off, I think it's Ashley, right here. And this will take you over to that area. So there's Waterworks Park. There's Eulalie that I've talked about a lot. Love Eulalie. And Armature Works. And again, you keep going up the river, and you've got Rick's on the river. So again, all this river, all this waterfront, you've got the walking path that will take you all the way down here. You can go to Curtis Hickson Park here, where especially right now during the holidays, there's fun things to do. And again, the water taxi, it's something I talk about on a couple of my videos. I love it. Not to mention, you're really close to Channel District and the water side and all of the fun things that the Channel Side District has to offer. So you're so close to everything. It's really amazing. Also, if you happen to work in Brandon, you're not far from Brandon. So you just hop on 275, head over the Summit, and you're right there in Brandon. So again, it's a really great centrally located little city, little borough, whatever you want to call it, little neighborhood, tons to do. And I really think it's an area you might want to consider. So I think my cons were a little light, but I have to admit, I'm a big fan of Seminole Heights. It reminds me of Silver Lake in Los Angeles with this eclectic feel and, music playing outside and cool coffee shops and cool restaurants and those microbreweries. So again, if that's your cup of tea, you got to put Seminole Heights on your list. So I think that does it for the pros and cons of moving to Seminole Heights. I know there wasn't that many cons and I have so many pros. So if you have anything to add on the con side, don't hesitate to comment below. I like hearing it. We all could use the information, right? And as always, if you like this content, please hit that like button. That helps me out a lot. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. That helps my channel grow and grow and grow. I really appreciate you guys helping me with that. And as always, I'm here to help you if you're looking to relocate to the Tampa-St. Pete area, but I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. So text me, call me, email me. Most importantly, you can jump on my calendar for that 30-minute consultation, and we can get started on your plan to relocate to our Golden State. So until next time, I really appreciate you checking out this content and channel, and I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.